Okay, welcome back to Teal House Farm. This video is a little out of the norm of what we do, but I thought I'd share it. So Ivy has been asking to learn how to make fried chicken. And that's something that I do sometimes. I don't do it a whole lot because it's a big process, right? But she really wants to learn, and I thought, well, today is a good day. We didn't really have much going on. We've been home, and fried chicken is kind of intensive, and it makes a big mess, and it's a lot of cleanup. Today's the day to do it. And so I'm going to teach her, and I thought I would just make a video of us making fried chicken with all the fixings, and you can see how we do it, and maybe it's something you don't know how to do and would like to learn how to do, or maybe it's something you do like to do, but I've learned some kind of tips and tricks to help keep it affordable, because things like chicken are expensive right now, so that we can still enjoy fried chicken and all the fixings without it totally breaking the banks. And we'll also use some of the things from our dry pantry and stuff, and you can see how we use those. So I'm just going to share it. We'll give this disclaimer. So I grew up on the East Coast in New England, and we don't eat fried chicken in New England. I mean, we do, I'm sure, eat fried chicken, but nothing like people do around here. And so I did not learn how to make fried chicken growing up. It's just something that most people didn't eat regularly where I grew up, much more like seafood type people. And then I came out here and everybody's all about the fried chicken, and I had no idea how to make it. So a very nice, lovely lady from church came over my house one day when we were somewhat newly married, and she taught me how to make fried chicken. And to this day, I still use her recipe, and it's delicious. And so I'm going to share that recipe with you. There are lots of ways to make fried chicken. There's lots of battering, I guess that's how you say it, techniques. This one is pretty simple, but it is delicious. So come along with us. It may be different from how you do it, and you'll get to learn. So let me show you what we have and what we're making, because we're gonna make the whole big ordeal. So this week is VBS at our church this weekend, and so Sam has school stuff still and practicum, so he's not able to help, but he'll need food, right? And I'm gonna be super busy, so I'm making really big batches of stuff with the idea that there'll be leftovers in the fridge. It'll be really easy for him to just heat up a plate over the next couple of days when I'm not home to cook dinner and stuff for him. And so we're gonna make ginormous quantities of things. Well, not ginormous, but much larger than normal. So if you're looking at this and being like, that's a lot of food, even for 8 people, that's why. Okay, so for the chicken, what I do is I wait, and when I find chicken on sale, a really good deal, I'll make what I call fry packs. So legs and thighs are most commonly what's on sale. There's no white meat in this pack because chicken breast, even with skin on it, even is really expensive. So this is a combination of legs and thighs. I think there's 9 pieces in each fry pack. We're a family of 8, so there's an extra piece in there if Sam wants 2 pieces. But I buy it when it's on sale, and then I freeze them in the deep freezer in these packages. And so when we want to make fried chicken, we aren't having to buy the chicken that week or that day, and it might not be on sale because it gets really expensive. So I have several of these in the freezer, so I pulled one out. It's been in the refrigerator for about 36 hours, so it's defrosted and it's ready to go. So we're going to fry that chicken. So this is just legs and thighs today. We're going to make a 5-pound bag worth of mashed potatoes. I also like to add cream cheese and sour cream and butter, milk, salt, pepper, that kind of stuff in the mashed potatoes. We make fried chicken for extra decadent mashed potatoes. This is a stretchy pants meal. Come ready to gain some weight. And then we're also going to make green beans with it. I prefer using French cut green beans when I make green beans. I feel like they soak up the flavor better, and they get just a really good flavor when you add the bacon and the chicken broth. We are also going to make biscuits because fried chicken always comes with biscuits. I don't know why, but that's what I've been told. So I always make biscuits when I make fried chicken. So I will be helping me make some, call them buttermilk biscuits, but it's actually not buttermilk. It's fake buttermilk. It's vinegar and milk. But we'll make that. Some nice fluffy biscuits. The biggest cost when it comes to fried chicken tends to be the fry oil, right? And so there's a couple ways I keep the cost down. The first is I use home rendered lard. I'll link the video below about how we render our own lard, but when you're canning things like barbecue pork and you're buying a large amount of pork, all of that grease that you're straining off, you can render it into lard. Don't throw it away. It's not something that you need to waste. It's something that's worth a lot of money in the kitchen. And so we're going to use our home rendered lard. But I don't think there's quite enough of this left for the amount of chicken we're doing. So whenever I fry, I save the oil. So this is used oil, but it's still good for another fry. So we'll add that. And then if we still need some more outside of that stuff, I'm just going to add some vegetable oil. But by using the home rendered lard, by saving and reusing oil a couple times for frying, whatever you're frying, it helps cut down on the cost, because I really feel like the lard or the oil becomes like the biggest cost in this fry production outside of the chicken. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started. What I like to do is do as much pre-chicken prep work as possible with like the vegetables and getting ready for the biscuits, because I feel like fried chicken, the chicken's a little bit needy and it needs attention paid to it so you don't accidentally burn it. And so we're gonna get everything set up, even if we're not turning the burners with them on yet, but that allows us to go really quick. And I almost forgot, we are gonna make gravy. I always make white gravy with fried chicken. I keep this big canister of homemade mix on the countertop. I'll link this below as well. But it takes several packets of gravy for our family, and I like the convenience of having a mix available, so I just have to add water and a little bit of butter. And then it just makes the white gravy without having to run around the kitchen at the last minute to get the salt and the pepper and the poultry seasoning and the flour and measure it all out. Just a big scoop of this, a little bit of butter and water, and then we have white gravy. So we'll make that at the very end to douse our fried chicken and mashed potatoes in. We'll use every burner on the stove today and the oven. Big pot for a big pot of mashed potatoes. This is for the green beans. Excuse me. Fried chicken 1. And you all made a video the other day about cast iron. I was talking about how this pan is really little and I don't use it very much because it's so thin. And you were like, hey, that's actually not a pan, that's a lid. And you all are geniuses. I don't know how I never figured that out, but that's the lid for the fryer. So we're gonna use it the way it's supposed to be used today. But we'll have 2 pans of fried chicken. Obviously, we'll have a sheet for the oven to cook our biscuits on. Let's get started. First things first, hair up, aprons on, because this is going to be a messy one. We get Ivy all tied up so we can get ready to get started. First thing we're going to do is prep of our sides, because once you start frying chicken, you don't want to have to stop to do anything else. So we're going to go ahead and dump 2 bags of these French cut green beans into our big pot here. And then we're going to add about 2 quarts. It's a little less than 2 quarts. It's like a quart and 2/3 of chicken broth, and then a heaping spoonful of this yummy herbed chicken bouillon and some pre-cooked bacon crumbles. We just set that on a low simmer and let it go as we cook. Next, we're gonna peel some potatoes. We're gonna peel a whole 5-pound bag because we're making extra on purpose here. And we're gonna get those put in a large pot with the rest of the chicken broth, some water, some salt, and some pepper, and we're going to set those to boil. We have a new helper that wants to come help, so Patty gets all lined up with an apron, and we're going to make some hillbilly biscuits. I'm going to tag the original video below. This is not my recipe, but it is delicious, and the Hillbilly Kitchen has a wonderful video of her making this, so please check that out. But basically, going to add our flour. We've got 2 cups flour, tablespoon baking powder, a dash of salt there. We need 3/4 cup buttermilk. Good job. Give Ivy boom booms. Boom booms? Boom. And then we're going to cut in 1/3 cup of butter. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of honey and our buttermilk. Mix it all up. And we're going to press it out and just fold it over just a couple times to help it get better layers. And using a biscuit cutter, we're going to get them put on this grease cookie sheet and into the freezer for a few minutes while we finish up some other things. Don't skip that freezing step, it's important. We're going to get our oil ready in our big cast iron pans. These are 10-inch skillets. We're going to get that melted and hot. And for the coating for the chicken, it's 2 cups of flour, probably about a tablespoon of salt, and a good dash of pepper. And then we're going to go ahead and put all of our chicken pieces in this bowl, and then we're going to add more salt, make sure they're all well coated with the salt, and then we're going to plop them in our flour mixture and then into the hot pan. Make sure you coat them super well. Don't be skimpy on the coats. We're gonna add more salt, trust me on this one, it's very important. And then we're gonna cover the chicken. And then we're gonna let it go for 12 minutes on that first side. Meanwhile, we're gonna clean up a bit so you can save your flour, put it in the freezer for next time you make fried chicken. And after 12 minutes, we're gonna flip the chicken over so it cooks the other side. It's looking nice and golden brown, yum. Can be a little tricky to flip, be careful not to splash yourself, and it's 12 minutes covered on the other side. We now have preheated our oven to 400. We're gonna slide those biscuits into the oven right from the freezer, and it's gonna take them about 12 minutes to cook, so it's gonna be perfect timing. Meanwhile, we'll drain our potatoes, we'll make our mashed potatoes, so I'm gonna add butter, milk, some sour cream, and some cream cheese for extra creamy potatoes. I make the white dressing, and I have a video about this below, but this is our homemade mix, and it makes super fast white gravy with just some butter and some water. We're gonna start serving it up, mashed potatoes on the plates, followed by our green beans, which are now nice and tender and ready. Then our fried chicken looks great. Ivy did an awesome job. And she also did a great job. Those are better biscuits than I usually make. Look how fluffy that is. White gravy on top of pretty much everything. Let's eat. Ivy, you did great. Good job. All right, we're gonna eat dinner. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your fried chicken.
Bye.
Bye.